Smell my feet, give me something good to eat. I don't know the rest of it. Anyways, happy Halloween. I hope you guys have had a wonderful spooky season. I know I have enjoyed spooky season. And I do want to give a very quick shout out to my neighbors. Y'all know who you are for supplying a lot of my Halloween decor. So thank you so much. You are watching Real Hair Crimes on the Baby Hair Extensions channel, and I am your host, Cat in the Hat, today. Anyways, for one night and one night only. So welcome back. If you haven't already done so, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. You know the drill. Are you guys ready for one last spooky, terrifying story? I am. This one got emailed to me, or spirit mailed, and I about died reading it. So, you guys ready? Here we go. When I first started doing extensions over about 12 years ago, I used my coworkers as a model to build my portfolio. Brilliant idea. One of these coworkers was a nail tech who had been in the industry for a lot of years. We did 4 packages of eye tips, perfectly matching out each of her chunky white highlights or black lowlights, as was the style back then. Her hair was a very fine texture but had a medium density. So every 3 months we did a full maintenance on her hair. And in between maintenances, she would see her usual stylist for root touches or partial highlights to keep up with the color placement that she loved so much. Again, so this person was doing extensions only on this specific client, and the client was going to see another stylist for her actual color services to maintain her highlight low light effect that she had going on. Okay. After a year and a half of wearing her eye tips, we started noticing that we were trimming more of her actual natural hair than the extensions. Now, this was amazing as it had protected her natural hair enough to grow it over 18 inches long, or so we thought. So we removed her entire install. Okay, so we took all the extensions out and we saw what was really actually occurring in her hair. Her roots, sorry, y'all, like this spider webbing, so this is why I don't do spooky season. Spider web is like attacking me. Anyways, sorry. We removed the entire head we removed the entire head of extensions and we saw what was really occurring in her hair. Her roots had been protected by the extensions. However, the ends of her hair had been snapped off and she was left with almost see-through ends and a thick midsection of hair. It almost looked like a mushroom with how much volume was left on top and so little left on the bottom. And I'm going to show you a photo of what this kind of looked like. Now, this is not the actual person or her actual hair, but this is as close of an image as we could find to describe what was. So I was mortified and completely panicked because no other model had had this issue. So I went into sleuthing mode to find out what would happen and to create this amount of damage. So first question I asked was what product she was using and how much she was styling her hair at home. That all checked out. She was using great salon quality products and being super gentle with heat. She was also really great at tying it off for bed, riding her motorcycle, or keeping the nail dust out of her hair. So remember, she's a nail tech, so there's a lot of like nail dust and chemicals and things that float around. But she was really good about protecting her hair in all of those cases. Really great at making sure that it was tied back for bed and for, riding her motorcycle. So while I was asking about her home care, it occurred to me that she hadn't mentioned anything about brushing her hair. So I asked, and this is where it all came out. She had been using a Walmart paddle brush to brush her hair wet and dry. She pulled right from the roots down to her ends without stopping any tangles. So she was basically ripping the brush through her hair. And I realized in that moment, I had not actually properly taught her how to brush her hair. I had just made the assumption that since she was in the cosmetology kind of industry that she would know how to properly brush her hair. But my problems didn't end there. I went into extra sleuthing mode and had also come to the realization that she used to have fully platinum bleached out hair, which had then been colored back to black and then re-highlighted for those early 2000s chunky highlights. So her fine ends were super compromised, and I never knew it until that moment. So here's two things that I realized: A, not proper brushing, and B, the hair history was just a whole thing. So what is the real hair crime in this story? And I dare say we have another double hair aside, because the first problem, of course, is the brushing. That's a very obvious one. And just because, and we've talked about this like a bazillion times before, but just to reiterate in case you've missed those episodes, I feel like a head bobber here, like a bobblehead. Just in case you've missed those episodes, remember that brushing is one of the highest things on the list that people just A, don't know how to do, or B, just don't do well. And so it is our job as stylists to properly teach them how to brush and with the appropriate brush. So go back into a couple episodes ago and we talk a lot about brushing and things like that. So brushing obviously is the obvious choice for a real hair crime, right? But we also have this extra one, which is called hair history. And to me, this is actually the real hair crime. Okay, so yes, brushing is a whole problem and that needs to be addressed, but the real issue that until you uncover it, you never would have even known it was there, is the actual hair history. Now, on our consultation form, we have a spot for hair history, and if they've been a regular guest of yours, you know their hair history because you've probably done all of their hair stuff to them. But if there's somebody that you're using as a model or somebody that you've just kind of like picked up from somebody else, in this case, it was also, yes, she was a model for this stylist, but she also was seeing a different stylist to do all of her color services. So the extension stylist was only doing extensions and the color stylist was only doing the color. Okay, so we have two different things going on here. So the extension stylist should have really gotten into the hair history because she would have found out that she had been platinum blonde at one point, then bleached, then gone all the way into dark. So from one end of the light spectrum to the dark end of the spectrum, and then gone back in and re-highlighted for those chunky highlights. So we've gone from one extreme to another, back to another extreme. And her hair was just done at that point. So while her root hair was okay, the ends were severely compromised. So how do we solve this hair crime? The first thing you're going to want to do, and again, we've talked a lot about this in previous episodes, but use a consultation form of some sort and make sure you're asking about hair history because it is that important. So while we're talking lifestyle, maintenances, all of those things, we also need to be talking about hair history. What has been done to their hair in the last, 5 to 10 years? Because we need to make sure that we're understanding the actual tensile strength of their hair. Can their hair handle it? So real hair crime, obviously not brushing with the right brush, but then hair history, not knowing what the hair history is to make sure that it can support the weight of whatever extensions that we're putting on it. And then how do you solve it? Really just rechecking on that hair history, consistently checking on product usage, things like that. It is our job as stylists to maintain the health of the hair. And since we've been talking about iTip hair today, Bones, you want to give them the code?
Happy Halloween, crime solvers. Grab the code GHOSTS for 20% off your iTip hair.
Thanks, Bones. I'm really going to miss that guy. So yes, grab your code GHOSTS for 20% off of your iTip hair. And then check out our other spooky codes if you want to snag a couple of scary good deals. Hey, don't forget to check out our Instagram and our TikTok at Babe Hair. Stylists, go to babehairextensions.com and join our Solutions Academy, Babe U, for more tips and tricks. And if you're not a stylist, still go check out our TikTok and our Instagram for lots of cool treats. What crimes will we come up with next? You'll have to wait and see. Until next time, don't get scared behind the chair. Come back and watch more episodes right here on the Babe Hair Extensions channel. Until next time, crime solvers.